Hello beauties, I hope you're all doing fantastically. This is a bit of a negative video, but I know it's gonna piss some of you off. This is gonna be a 15 books or book series that I'm not gonna finish. I think they're all with magical, like fantasy or magical realism, any type of fantasy. So let's just get started. Don't get offended, and I'll tell you what chance there is of me changing my mind, and if you feel very strongly about me actually reading any of these, then comment below. And only on the ones that there's a chance that I might change my mind, you know? So the first one is this series. This is like a Marvel retelling type of series. The first one is Wonder Woman by Leigh Bardugo. This one is Batman by Marie Lu, and I believe there's Catwoman and Superwoman maybe? I don't remember, but cover is broken. I'm not going to continue with the series just because like I don't want to, and I'm 100% sure I'm not going to continue, so don't convince me. But it's just, I thought this one was okay. The first one was just really bad. It was like way too YA, and I'm not interested in like the future ones. I think superheroes are just not my thing. The next one you might change my mind on because I haven't actually read this book yet. This is King of Scars by Leigh Bardugo. I tried to read Crooked Kingdom through audiobook, and I've listened to more than half of it and I don't remember anything. So I have to pick it up from the start, and I'm not enjoying it. I'm really not enjoying it. So I'm so cross. Like, I already bought this book. Like, I don't really like it, and I honestly regret starting this whole like Grishaverse because I didn't like the first 3 books really. And then I kind of liked Six of Crows, but Crooked Kingdom I can't get into, and it's just like now I feel like I have this need to continue with the series instead of just quitting because I actually don't enjoy it, you know? Next we have The Poppy War by R.F. Kuang. This I'm definitely not gonna finish. I felt so like affected by this book. I didn't like the brutality, the tempo was wrong. It was just a terrible book. No offense to the author and everyone who likes it, of course, but I just really didn't like it. Oh, the sun just came out. So yeah, lighting change. Definitely not going to continue with the series. I know the second book, The Dragon Republic, just came out, and I'm happy for those of you who are enjoying it, but I'm just never going to continue. Next we have Isabel Allende's City of the Beast. I have the second book, but it's up for giveaway if any of you guys want it. I just felt a huge like disconnect with this book. I couldn't connect with the characters, the plot. I don't really generally like stories that have fairy tale aspect of it where it's so out there and so mythical that you can't connect with the plot, and this one definitely had that issue. I don't mind the spirituality in it. I don't mind anything like that. The plot was fine. It was just something about the writing style I couldn't connect to. I'm definitely not going to continue with the series. Next we have Crime and Poetry. I also read the second book, but I know there's a third one that come out. I might read this one. I mean, they're very quick and they're very short. It's like a cute crime story that takes place in this magical bookshop that the main character and her grandma owns. I don't hate it. It's just kind of boring and not my thing, even though a magical bookshop sounds very cute, and it is. Just like the way that the book leads her to the result of who is the murderer in the book is very vague and not so precise and easily like well explained, I guess. So I might continue with the series, but right now I really don't have plans for it. Next we have, well, the first one is Asylum. I don't know why I didn't get that one. This is the second book, Sanctum. I read the first 2 books, and there is a third one that I'm not gonna read. I have actually a review for Asylum. It's crazy, but I'm not gonna read it because I think the first one has a good plot. The second one kind of drags out, and it feels like, you know, the story should have just been the first one, and then this one was kind of just like, okay, you did not need to exist. So I'm not gonna complete the last book. Then we have Jurassic Park. This has several books after it by Michael Crichton. I was told it was pronounced Crichton? Crichton? I feel like someone said it reminds with Frighten, so Crichton. I hope that's correct. Definitely not gonna continue. I gave this 2 stars. I feel like it's just gonna be the same thing if I continue with the series. It's gonna be the same like plot line, the same characters. Like, it's just gonna be too much, I think, of the same thing, and that's kind of what I had a problem with this one. Like, it didn't really evolve during the story. The action was kind of stagnant. So I'm definitely not gonna continue with this series. Sorry. This one I still have maybe changed my mind. This is City of Ghosts by Victoria Schwab. This is a middle grade ghost story, I guess. The second one just came out. It's called Tunnel of Bones, and the covers are really beautiful. I really like it. I know that in a way I should continue because I didn't hate this and it was super short and super quick, but I think not hating a book is like not a reason to continue. Like, that's crazy. I think right now I feel so much pressure to continue with series that I didn't actually enjoy, just because having them unfinished is actually giving me a little bit of anxiety, like OCD type of stuff. Like, if I don't finish a series, like not knowing the ending or experiencing the ending is like giving me a little bit of stress, and it's like the same with all of these books. But sometimes you just have to like accept that it's like not your thing and you just have to move on. And I think it's definitely this one, as well as like all of Victoria Schwab's writing, and I'm slowly starting to realize it's not for me. Then we have Furyborn. This was like a new young adult last summer, I think. The next one has come out and the covers are really nice, but this was just all over the place. It's like a young adult fantasy with a prophecy and that kind of thing, like two queens from different eras like connecting and stuff. And I think the premise is really cool, but there was just so many elements in this. Like, everyone was like trying to overdo it so much, and yeah, it was a lot and it wasn't well brought together and I just didn't like it. I'm definitely not going to continue with the series. The next one, I know a lot of you are going to be upset about it. I am so sorry. But this isn't against the author. I'm open to trying her new book that's like a fantasy and a little bit thicker. But this is Every Heart a Doorway by Sheldon McGuire. So this is like, it has a really cool premise about kids falling into these different magical worlds, and when they come back they have a difficulty dealing with their daily life and they have to go to the school, meet other people who have the same issue, and so this one was just way too short in my opinion. I felt like they just needed to be more there, and I've heard it gets better. It has different plot lines, the other book, but I'm definitely not going to continue with this series. But I am very open to trying her new book. It's like the one with the hand and the candles. I don't know what it's called. But I mean, if that gets like a lot of good reviews, I definitely am open to trying more by this author, because it's a thicker book, and my main issue with this one was just that it was too short. Very simple. The next one I think you can all agree with. This is The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer. I'm really not going to explain it. I'm just not going to continue. Like, you know what I'm talking about. The next one is so controversial. This is The Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. I actually have the second book for this one. I didn't hate this book either. It's just like it drags a lot. Like, it's 800 pages and a lot of politics, which is not my thing. And I did buy the next one because the ending was a lot more magic and it has a lot of hope. But then I heard that you should start with like it's called Assassin's Apprentice, I think. Like the first book she has written, and then these books will make more sense. But I didn't have a problem understanding this. Maybe it's just characters that pop up, and I don't feel like reading her other stuff, because I also know like Assassin's Apprentice isn't her best work, and this is her best work, and I still didn't like it all that much. So I think I'm gonna continue, but I really have to be in the right mood. I don't know. It's complicated, guys. The next one, I'm also like I've been contemplating this for a month now, just because of like the series coming out, and that is the Witcher series. I read The Last Wish, Sapkowski, and I didn't hate it either. it was so scattered. Like, it's a short story fantasy collection, which I think is a really cool idea, but I just actually didn't enjoy it, and I didn't really connect with the characters, and I thought that like the plot was really cool, but sometimes characters popped up and I just forget who they were or where they came from. But it's also like kind of short books, and because the series is coming up, like, it would be so cool to have read the books so that it doesn't end up like Game of Thrones, where it's like I want to read it now but I've already watched the series, you know? So tell me, should I continue? Like, do you like the actual, when the plot begins? Because the first 3 books are just the short stories, and then the plot begins. So let me know if I should continue. I don't know. Then we have this one. I'm definitely not going to continue with this. This is Beyonders by Brandon Mould. This is the first one, A World Without Heroes, and I've also read the second one. It's a trilogy. And I actually really enjoyed this one. I gave it 4 stars, but it's like whimsical and it's crazy, and it has all these different people and species, and it's kind of cool if you like that kind of thing. Like, if you like middle grade, check it out. It's amazing, but I don't like middle grade, and yeah, it was a little hard for me to deal with. So the first one is quite good. The second one I felt like too much for me. You know, I don't really like stories that have a lot of traveling, a lot of walking, like journey stories are really not my thing. So yeah, I'm not gonna read the third one. I just don't feel any need for it. And the last one is gonna break all your little hearts. I know, I'm looking at you right there watching this. Percy Jackson. I read the first 3 books out of 5 and I'm not gonna continue just because it's not my thing. And I know a lot of people who read this when they were smaller, like it's very nostalgic, and I bet I would have loved it when I was younger, but I think the humor is kind of cringy. I also don't like the traveling aspect. I like how it's all these Greek mythology in it. I don't mind that. I like the gods aspect. It's just also middle grade that isn't really my thing. So that is that. So those are all the series I'm going to talk about. Next video is going to be about series I need to finish because there's quite a few of those and I really want to get to it. So yeah, talk to me in the comments. I hope you guys have a brilliant, brilliant day. Stay magical. Bye.